Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Leslie and today I am making a card for Kendra's card challenge number 19. This quarter is from July 1st to September 30th, 2025, and today is a hop using Gina K design products that were given to us designers, and I'm going to be working on sketch 11. So this is the stamp set that I received from Gina K Designs, and then the coordinating dies. The stamp set is kind of a fruit stamp, and then the dies are actually the full fruit with leaves all together. So I'm going to start by stamping a bunch, and I am using my positively saturated ink from Simon Says Stamps in bunch of different colors. We have cherry, watermelon, zest, lemonlicious, perfection, and field there for the leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and start by lining up my lemon. So because I'm going to be die cutting, I know I want to make sure that my stamping fits within the die. So I am putting the die down first and then lining up the lemon fruit there. And we're going to kind of make our own little turntable here. I don't have that particular stamping platform, but I do love seeing it and I kind of want to get one. But because I don't have one, I'm going to kind of make my own. So first I'm going to start by just stamping out the lemon stamp here. I am using the zest color in the ink, and that just went down so pretty. I love the details on these stamps. You can see the little white flecks on there to give the lemon texture, and then I'm realigning this die because I'm going to put the leaves on this particular angle so that we can stamp more than one stamp at a time and kind of speed up the process. Now, there is multiple ways that you can do batch stamping like this. You could you'll see in the next fruit I end up die cutting a bunch of fruit out, and then I place one within a die cut and then just do a batch die stamping set that way. But this is kind of fun if you make sure that you pay attention to your inks and don't accidentally use the wrong one on the wrong stamp, which thankfully I did not do this time, but I have done that in the past where it's like, oh, I accidentally made my leaves yellow. Don't do that. So then I realized what I forgot to do was that I do need a perfect square to make this work. Otherwise, when you turn the sheet, of course, it's not going to line up. And then I also realized that I needed to double stamp my lemon there because it didn't quite get a full impression. So there is a white spot there that I'm making sure that I get colored in. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn my sheet again. So then I need another stamp. So I'm making sure everything lines up correctly to make sure I'm doing this like I actually want to. There is a third stamp that goes with this lemon. It's the inside of the leaves here. So with the inside of the leaves, I am going to do a little bit darker. I'm using the Limelicious for the main color of the leaves, and then I'm going ahead and use the Perfection for the inside just to give a little bit darker of an impression so that you can really see those lines well. Now, when I lined this up for this particular stamp, I didn't line it up perfectly. As you're about to see as the reveal, it's a little bit off, but I'm actually okay with that. It gives it a little bit more of a homemade feel, and since I'm going to be die cutting these out, it's still going to look cute. And you know, leaves aren't perfect, so I am going to speed up this portion of the video just because it gets really repetitive, but you can kind of still see what I'm doing. I'm inking up all 3 stamps at a time, and then I'm going ahead and pressing it, and if it needs a second press, I do that as well. So like I said, we are all doing a YouTube hop here for Gina K Designs for Kendra's Card Challenge number 19. So definitely check down in the description box. There's the playlist so you can see all the videos, all the inspiration using Gina K products, and I believe everyone got something different. So you definitely have a lot of fun things to see, and then a lot of inspiration with Kendra Card Challenge number 19. So there's all 4 of my lemons. I'm going to go ahead and get my stamp platform cleaned off, and then I get everything dyed, cut out. So this time I decided to do it a little bit differently, since the cherry has I believe 5 stamps to it. I decided to go ahead and just die cut them out, and then line it up that way. So that's another way you can do batch stamping, is that you die cut all your pieces and then you line up your die cut on the cardstock on the negatives. So that is what I'm doing here. I'm also doing more than one stamp again. So I'm going to do one of the cherries and then the first layer of the leaf. So the cherry, I'm actually using cherry ink. I thought it was fitting. And it's actually the color that I wanted, so that was really great. And then I'm starting with the perfection for the leaves. Now, those were my lemons. I did my best with die cutting. I don't always do it perfectly. A couple of them are a little, has a little bit more white around one side than the other. But again, I'm okay with that. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking for my best. And, whoever gets this card is going to love it. And they're not going to go, oh, that's a little off, unless, they're one of us. And even when I get homemade cards, I never think that. I go, oh, I got a card in the mail. I never go, oh, that's a little off center. So I'm not too worried about it. So my first round of cherries, I was a little bit off there. My cherry almost fell off the die cut. So when I went to do the second one, I did rearrange my stamps just a little bit, just so it would fit a little bit better for the rest of them. So that first one, the first pancake, that's how it is. Now, if you've never heard of Kendra's Card Challenge, what it is that Cards by Kendra puts on a quarterly challenge where she creates 15 different sketches using 6 sheets of 6x6 paper. And she gives us all the cutting guides to cut the 6x6 paper, and then she also gives us all the measurements for the sketches. So if you only wanted to make one card, you have all the measurements for that. So I'm slowing the video back down because I am changing up the stamps now. So now I'm using that same cherry on the other side, and then I'm using Field for my ink color for the inside veins of the leaves. So I'm just pointing that out, that we did change it up. And then I will go through all 4 of my die cuts to continue the stamping. And then we will continue on with the rest of the stems. So if you do decide to play with us and make all 15 cards and upload it to the InLinkz party, you have a chance to win monthly prizes. If you do it per month, you also have a chance to win prizes at the end of the quarter. So definitely let us see your photos as well. There is a Facebook group down below where we share all the inspiration when we are making these cards. So it's a great community. It's a fun way to get a lot of different sketches. Plus, if you do make a set, you have a great gift set to give someone else or to use for your own stash. I personally do a lot of my sketches for Roller Family Kids Camp. I give cards to them each year, and then they hand them out as heart notes. And then I also give cards to Cubs for Cards. And so they're always looking for birthday cards, encouragement cards, hello cards, that kind of thing. So that's what I use mine, other than just to, send them out to friends and family when I want to. So, and then moving on to the strawberry, I am using watermelon ink because I don't have a strawberry ink. I'm just saying. Simon Says Stamps, you might want to get on that. And if you do have a strawberry, well, apparently I don't have it in my stash, but the watermelon I thought was perfect because it's kind of a pinky red, and that's what I was kind of going for. So I went ahead and did the exact same process that I've been doing this whole time. I'm batch stamping. I did all of my strawberry there, and now I'm doing all the leaves in that Field color, and that is how my little strawberries come out. So moving on, I did decide that I wanted to kind of do a tone on tone with this particular card. So I am pressing down with the zest, the watermelon and the cherry, and the Limalicious green color to make solid squares, because I am doing sketch number 11 and it calls for 1.5 squares, and that's where my fruit is going to go. Originally I was going to make kind of a pattern paper thing, but then I went in a different direction when I realized how small a 1.5 square a piece of paper is. So right here I am using some water. I'm just flicking on there. I just wanted to add some more texture, more sparkle to my little backgrounds. You won't see a ton of it, but you do see a little bit of the different texture, and I just like playing, and I had the time, so got to do it. I started with water because this is a water reactive ink, and then I'm going ahead and adding water to some white acrylic paint, and then I'm just gonna splatter that on with my little paintbrush. I did get some big splashes here and there, but again, I'm not using the whole rectangle. I'm just, well, except for the yellow one, I'm just using tiny squares of it. And then I did me and these sparkle pens, y'all. I just can't win. I am using that as some more splatter, just so that there's a little bit more sparkle on these as well. And I did get a big glop there. It's fine. We don't use that side. I just can never win with these pens, no matter what I do with them. I have too much. I have too little, too much. All right, so let's go ahead and make this card. So first off, I'm starting out with my 4 by 5 1/4 sheet here. I am doing white on white, so I just took some white cardstock and put it through a dot embossing folder that I have in my stash, just so it have a little bit of texture. I really want the colors to come from the fruit and the little squares, so that's why I'm doing white on white instead of an outside border. But anything that is white or gray or black on the sketch is up to you to decide whatever you want to do with it. So these are my little squares. I'm just kind of lining it up, kind of figuring out if I want to put the sentiment where it says to put the sentiment or put it differently. Like I said, I was originally going to make pattern paper with these fruits, which is why I made so many. But then I realized how small these squares are and how big the fruits are. So I decided to go a little bit differently. And instead of making a pattern paper, I'm just putting kind of a tone on tone look to it. And then I did also stamp out the Hello Sweet Friend and die cut that as well, just using the field green color, because I just wanted to add a little bit more of that green, kind of make a full circle on this particular sketch. So now I'm going to go ahead and add some liquid glue to all my fruit and put them on all their respective squares there. So the cherries on cherry, the strawberries on the watermelon, the lemons are on the zest. And I did just do 2 lemons. According to the sketch, there's 2 paper A's, so that's kind of where I got that information. And then I tried to make the 3 different papers, the 3 different colors, which I think just comes out really well, because the green kind of gives your eye a little bit of a rest and makes it feel cluttered in a good way. This card is chaos in a good way. But that green does kind of let your eye rest a little bit if it's a little bit too cluttered for you. I personally probably could have added a bit more, but I held back. I am, of course, putting on my acrylic blocks while things adhere well. And then I was just trying to figure out how I wanted my red fruits to go, because they are similar in color. I decided to go with the lightest one at top, the darkest ones, kind of so your eye is drawn down into the Hello Sweet Friend. So we'll go ahead and pop that up with some foam tape though. And I'm not going to make you think or watch through my foam tape struggles. If you've followed me very long, I struggle with that as well. So power of editing. Look, it's already done. Yay. So that is my final card. And I didn't put any other sparkle on it because it does have glitter on those squares. And there's just so much going on with it that I didn't want to add more. And I think it came out beautifully. So definitely check out the playlist down below. Like I said, lots of inspiration for Gina K products. Lots of inspiration for Kendra's card challenge. I will put the product information that I received down below if you want to go ahead and shop there. Otherwise, make sure you fill out the form so you get entered to win today's giveaway by Cards by Kendra. So have a great day. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Hit the bell. I'll see you in another video soon.